Cooking with Capernaum. Hey guys, and welcome to Cooking with Capernaum. We put it on the fridge this week. Hey, this week we are going to make pigs in a blanket. I'm using crescent rolls and some little hot dogs. Before we get started, you want to make sure you have permission to be in the kitchen. Cooking is so fun, but also can be very dangerous. So we always want to make sure a parent is nearby. Before we get started, you're going to want to make sure you wash your hands. I have already washed mine. And now let's make pigs in a blanket. Today we have only 2 ingredients, which is super easy. I love anything that comes in a can like this, biscuits or cinnamon rolls, because I like to hit it against the counter like this. I hope you're doing this just a couple of times. And then I love what happens. Like, there's a little arrow here that says peel in direction of. So you're going to pull and peel and let's see. And watch this, guys. Haha, it popped open. That's my favorite part. Now you're going to just completely let everything out of the can. Guys, I got a little piece of parchment paper. It's just like this. I like to use it, but I put it on the counter just so it didn't stick to the counter. So you could do that. You could also use a plate, aluminum foil. You could also just put it on the counter if you wanted to. So these little crescent rolls are pretty easy. They're a little tricky, so if you are having trouble taking them apart, you could just ask your parent to help you. Just kind of unravel like this, and they end up coming apart. This one actually is kind of weird. So they come off in little triangles like this. And then I'm going to take 2 little hot dogs and stick them in. And guys, this is what's really fun. Can you see this? You're just going to roll it up. Sometimes pigs in the blanket are a little bit smaller, but since I'm making mine with these little crescent rolls, they're going to cook, and the little hot dog is just going to be a little surprise inside. These are a little sticky. So I'm going to pull this apart. There's a lot of different types of dough you could use to do this. So if you did something a little bit different, it might even actually be a little easier. You could do that. So put those in there, and then again, I'm gonna just pull these apart. There's little lines in them. All right, so there's little lines in here, and so you can just tear right where you're seeing those lines. And wrap. All of these look a little different, and I kind of think that's cool. I'm going to do this again. This one looks a little crazy. The bottom of that can, they just started getting weirder and weirder looking. I don't know if you saw. I think my little crescents were a little messed up. They were all sorts of weird sizes. Again, I've got these here, right on the widest part. I'm gonna tuck. And really, you can wrap these however you want. I showed you. This is kind of what is probably traditional, what you would see a crescent roll. And this, my own little version of the crescent roll. It looks a little crazy, and I am okay with that. I have only one left. And again, this one is so weird. I don't even know how I'm gonna decide where the little hot dog is gonna go. So I think I'm just gonna pick a place, pick this place. Gonna fold it over and then just wrap it around. Again, guys, this does not have to be perfect. If you look at mine, they're all different sizes. They're all different shapes. I mean, this one is so teeny tiny. These actually look pretty perfect. And then you got these crazy guys over here that I just kind of threw together. So if yours look perfect, that's awesome. If they are teeny tiny like this one, that's awesome too. We never care about being perfect. We are just having fun. The next thing we're gonna do is put it in the oven. It's preheated to 375, and we're gonna cook them for 8 minutes. Hey guys, I just put the pigs in a blanket in the oven. They're gonna cook for 8 minutes, and so I thought that while we were waiting, I would read our scripture. This week, pull it off the refrigerator, it's this. He gives me new strength. He guides me in the right paths for the honor of his name. I love thinking about how God can give us new strength. If you have ever been sad or worried or anxious, or maybe something hard was going on in your life and you asked God to help you through prayer, you said, God, help me, and you noticed that even though life was hard or sad or confusing, that you are okay. That reminds me of the new strength God gives us, because the Bible tells us that there's peace that God gives us that doesn't make sense. Peace that surpasses understanding. And when I think of new strength, I think of peace when the world around you is so crazy. And right now, guys, the world around us is so crazy, but we can trust that the Bible is true and that God gives us new strength each day, even though we might be worried or sad or frustrated. I'm going to pray, and it's going to be time to get our pigs in the blanket out of the oven. Jesus, we love you so much. Thank you for making us. Thank you for helping us. And thank you for guiding us. Thank you for giving us strength when we feel weak or sad or worried. We love you. And amen. All right, I am going to get the pigs in the blanket. Again, guys, remember, pans are super hot. Make sure you have protection. All right, guys, they are done. I'm gonna pull them out with my little pot holders. Here they are. Don't they look great? Guys, just so you know, I ended up having to cook them a little bit longer for about 12 minutes. So if yours don't look golden brown, you might need to cook them for just a little bit longer. It was so great to be with you today. I love you guys so much, and shout out to Jakayla. Yesterday was her last day of school. Love you guys. Cooking with Capernaum.